I remember coming to Argentina back in the early 1990s, one of many false dawns. What is different this time? What are you going to change?
We have learned, let me tell you, John, that after many years that we believe that the success of our country depended on supposedly providential leaders, and that we also believe that by our own we could develop, we understood that 21st century demands to work together, jointly with the rest of the world, sharing capabilities, skills, and not letting ideological differences to stand in the way of the best solution. And this is the framework with which we are going to work in local and foreign affairs.
So it is a more pragmatic,
absolutely,
maybe less arrogant Argentina.
Absolutely. We need to be recognized as an open, trustworthy country where we go ahead with clear rules, equal and stable for everybody.
Can you tell me about foreign investment? I know you're here, you're trying to bring in foreign investment. You have several companies you've already talked to here.
Many.
What's a realistic number, do you think, in terms of the foreign investment you would like to get this year?
This year, well, we are just starting, but I think that we are going to be around 20 billion and progressing. No? You know, Argentina has decided to take their place in the global landscape. And we think that we have an important role to fulfill. When you talk about food security, we are the second country in the world in terms of food production per capita. And we can increase that in 50% in 5 years. But we need a huge plan of infrastructure. So that's where we need the important companies of the world to come in and construct with us and finance roads, ports, waterways, energy, trains, because we are a huge country today is only depending on trucks. That's impossible. It's very expensive. It's very inefficient logistics system. When you go to talk about energy security, we're in the middle of a crisis of prices, but supposing this is going to come back to a stable price, we have wonderful and huge reserves in shale gas, in shale Thai gas, but also in renewals. Argentina is one of the greatest, has the greatest potentials in wind energy and solar energy. And that is also, in addition to be an important alternative for investments, it's something that we need to curb climate change. No?
Is that the sort of deal which you've been talking to companies like Total about?
Yes, we have been talking with Total, with BP, we talk also with Shell, and they are compromised to invest in Vaca Muerta, that is the name of this huge shale gas reserve, but also with companies that are willing to invest in renewals. No? For us, it's very important to be part of these compromises against climate change, that we all assume in the last COP at Paris.
Now, you have this big problem to do with holdouts and the issues of the bonds. Can you tell me two things? To what extent, what's the timetable, a realistic timetable for you solving that?
We want to solve it now.
But you have to wait for the Parliament to come back?
We have to have an agreement with them and then submit the agreement to the Congress. But showing our willingness, we went to New York in the first 15 days of our government to start talkings.
Have you run into Paul Singer here?
No, I didn't have the chance. But now we asked for a meeting at New York with the mediator Pollack, and he postponed it from the 25th to the 1st of February. But we will go the 1st of February with all our will to find a settlement at the New York courts, a realistic, a reasonable settlement with the holdouts.
And how do you see them? Some people in Argentina see them as vultures, others see them as unpaid creditors. Which way do you go?
Let's say that they have something in which they have the right to claim. We don't accept the level of penalties that the judge has decided, but we want to discuss that. But we want to finish all our conflicts of the past. We want to think in terms of the future. Argentina have learned. Argentina wants to grow I'm committed to zero poverty in my country, to defeat drug trafficking, and to improve the quality of my democratic system. So I want to work in terms of future and give better alternatives, better jobs to my citizens, and that needs to go over all the conflicts of the past.
So you're going to avoid the kind of name-calling of the past?
Yes, doesn't help. No?
And do you have any idea how much money is waiting for that agreement to happen? How much money is sitting there in terms of foreign investment that would come in if you could solve that problem?
Huge. Argentina is maybe one of the best alternatives in the next 10 years for investors. We have a lot to, again, we have been talking about energy, food, but we can talk also about sustainable mining, tourism, software, many other things. So Argentina is a place in which we are going to surprise in the potentials that we have. We have gigantic potentials.
Now imagine I'm a skeptical outside investor and I've seen that you have promised to bring the budget deficit down at the end, but you're prepared to let it grow in the short term. Surely when people look at that from outside, do you think they're worried?
We're not increasing the deficit in the short term.
So keeping it flat.
We are going to reduce it 1%, even though we have cut taxes, because we have removed barriers to trade. We have removed taxes to export. It was quite unique in Argentina, and we were like stopping the increase in exports, and now we want to boost our exports, food, especially I'm talking about agribusiness exports. So I'm compromised to reduce annually the fiscal deficit to arrive as soon as possible to a one-digit inflation. That is something that in a normal country, as we want to be, should work.
Now, what will you do to get all this through Parliament, through Congress? You have this inevitable problem in Argentina where you have a lot of people who have some interest in regulation remaining, all the things you want to get rid of.
Things have changed. I brought here to Davos maybe the most important leader of the opposition, Sergio Massa, showing that we are sharing this view. That it's not only something that is pushed by the new president. It's something that is understood by a new generation. What changed in Argentina is that all that the ones we are involved from now on in politics have started in democracy. Didn't leave all these previous authoritarian processes that we have in Argentina, dictatorships and all that. So we are viewing the future in the same way. So that's why I'm so enthusiastic and optimistic.
Take me through your relationship with America. There is this country which Argentina has had all these ups and downs with, and it seems to make a difference to the way that Argentina is viewed, certainly from New York.
I talked on the phone with President Obama, very nice talk, and yesterday I met Joseph Biden, the Vice President, and I told him also that we are ready to have good, intelligent, and pragmatic relations, that we want to work together against terrorism, climate change, drug trafficking, corruption, and there's room to cooperate, and I think that in the future years we will build trust among both communities, and we're ready to welcome their company, their citizens to visit Argentina.
And is free trade part of that agenda? Is it ever possible to imagine one day having a free trade area of the Americas, as various people of your persuasion have talked about?
Yes, John, we have to work with that idea. We can present the world a whole continent, a peaceful continent. In Argentina, we have the most important Muslim community in Latin America, the most important Jewish community of Latin America. And we all live in a peaceful way. So this is the chance for whole America with all these problems that are facing in the rest of the world. No? So there's a big chance. I'm committed in strengthening Mercosur and then going towards the Pacific Alliance and the whole continent. No? This will be a process, but we have to start working in that direction.
Now, I have to ask you one thing, which I said earlier, that, you know, everyone in Davos is asking one question of me, which is, what would a President Trump be like? And you are one of the people who has known him for a long time.
Yes, I know him.
How would you describe him?
I was 24 years old when I closed the deal in New York, the Lincoln West project. I was too young, no? But a tough negotiator, I remember, tough negotiator. A very particular guy, no? Very particular guy. Some of his proposals are a little bit extreme under my view, but, well, it's part of the democratic debate, no?
So you could get on with a President Trump in the same way as you would try to get on with all other forms of foreign leader?
Well, my commitment is to have good relations with everybody and not let any ideological difference stand in the way of the best solution. And that is something that we apply, no, for domestic and foreign affairs. So, but well, it's a long way to go, no, before we will know who is going to be the next president. I'm willing to host in Argentina the actual president, Barack Obama.
When do you think he's going to arrive?
No, it's not confirmed, but we are really, we would be very happy to host him in Argentina.
President Macri, thank you very much for talking to Bloomberg. It's been a great pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for the invitation.
Good luck with the vultures.